Well, this is Baruch Fleisch from your Saba here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel as we're reading the story of King David. King David is our king. King David is the master poet. King David is a master songster. He arouses joy in everyone he meets. But at the same time, he's a warrior because the land itself has wildness to it. Both in the animals that live there, at the time of David, there were lions, but also with the human animals who exist on our borders, who want nothing but to occupy the land, to destroy the Jews who live there, and our holy mission. So here we come over here to, in this book of Samuel, second book of Samuel. It was after this, which of course refers to the death of King Saul, the death of his son Jehonasan, and the tremendous lamentation that our king made in regards to their death. It was after this that David inquired of the Lord, so he spoke to Hashem, "Shall I go up into one of the cities of Yehudah?" Now, you have to understand that the family of David is the leading family of the tribe of Judah. And the Lord said to him, "Go up," said David. "Where shall I go up?" And he said to him, "To Hebron." So Hashem showed to David that Hebron was the place to go. I should understand that Hebron right now, I have friends live in Hebron, and I've been in Hebron, even when there's been shooting in Hebron and things going on during Sukkot. Our little yeshuv there in Hebron is surrounded by Arabs, and they have nothing to do but hate. He said to Hebron, so David went up there, and also his two wives, Ahinoam and Jezreelite, and the Jezreelites, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. Now, this is the way he says Ahinoam. She's from Jezreel, and also Abigail, who was the wife of Nabal the Carmelite, and his men who were with him. David brought up each man and his household, and they dwelt in the cities of Hebron. Now he says the cities of Hebron is a little bit plural. So Kiryat Arba, the areas around it. Hebron is in it's like in a very low place where the caves are, where our ancestors buried, is a very low place. And these men and the men of Judah came and there anointed David as king over the house of Judah. And they told David, saying that the men of Jabesh Gilgad buried Saul. David sent messengers to the men of Jabesh Gilgad and said to them, "Blessed be you to the Lord that you have performed this kindness with your Lord, with Saul, and you buried him. And now, may the Lord do with you kindness, truth, and also I shall requite you this kindness that you have done this thing. And let your hands be strong, and be valiant, for your master Saul is dead, and also the house of Judah have anointed me as king over them." And Avner, now Avner in Hebrew means the father of the candle, the father candle. Avner, it's the principal candle. His name is the father of Ner, is the son of Ner, of the candle, of the light. The general of Saul's army. He took Ish-Boshes, Saul's son, and brought him over to Mahanaim. And he made him king over Gilead, and over the Ashurites, and over Jezreel, and over Ephraim, and over Benyamin, and over all Israel. Ish-Boshes, Saul's son, was at that time 40 years old when he became king over Israel, and he reigned 2 years. But the house of Judah were after David. In other words, they followed David. And the length of time which David was king in Hebron of the house of Judah was 7 years and 6 months. And Abner the son of Ner, and the servants of Ish-Boshes, the son of Shaul, went out of Mahanaim to Gibeon. And Joab the son of Zeruiah and David's servants went out and met together by the pool of Gibeon, and they sat down, these on one side of the pool, and these on the other side of the pool. And Abner said to Joab, now Abner, let's understand, is a major general. Abner, he is the head candle, head light. He said to Joab, now Joab is another valuation, I'm not really sure how to translate it. It's a Jewish name, so he says, Av means father, and Yoav is combinations of God's name. Let the boys get up now and play before us. And Joab said, let them get up. What does that mean? And they got up and passed in number 12 of Benjamin and of Ish-Bosheth, and 12 of David's servants. Now, what are they doing? He says, then each one took hold of his fellow's head, and his sword was thrust in his fellow's side, and they fell together. They killed each other. And he called that place the territory of those slain by the sharp swords, which is in Gibeon. And the battle was very sore on that day, and Avner, the head light, and the men of Israel were beaten before David's servants. They lost. In other words, I don't really understand. It sounds like that they had some kind of a council. And they sat opposite each other, each man girded with apparently their swords, and they began to fight, and they killed each other. That's what sounds like to me. So he says, and then the rest of the armies of the two began to fight. And said that on that day Abner and the men of Israel were beaten before David's servants. And the three sons of Zeruiah who were there, Joab and Avishai and Asahel, and Asahel was as light of foot as one of the deer which are in the field. In other words, the guy could run fast. And Asahel pursued Abner, and did not turn to go to the right or the left from after Abner. In other words, he stayed right on him. And Avner, Avner that turned around and said, is that you, Asahel? And he said, it is I. And Avner said to him, turn you aside to your right or to your left, and take you hold of one of the boys, and take to yourself his clothing. I'm not sure what this means. But Asahel did not want to turn aside from following. Now, I guess he wanted to say, they didn't have all that much. They didn't have Walmart or Ross for Less. They didn't have that. So the clothing that you had were your clothes. So he said, offered him other clothes, clean clothes, fresh clothes, a little bribe. Turn this way, turn that way. That's what I think he means. And Abner continued further to say to Asahel, and then he continued on and said, turn you aside from follow me. Don't follow me anymore. Why shall I strike you to the ground? Why shall I kill you? So in other words, he's saying that if Asahel keeps going, Avner is going to turn on him and kill him. And how will I hold up my face to Joab, your brother? Your brother's name is Joab. Now I have to see that Joab is going to start to become prominent in these stories. And refused to turn aside. And Abner struck him with the back end of the spear under the fifth rib. And the spear came out from behind him and went all the way through him. And he fell there and died in his place. It was everyone who came to the place where Asahel had fallen and died, stood still. And Joab and Avishai pursued Abner. So Joab and his other brother, they ran after Abner. And the sun set when they came to the hill of Ammah, which is before Gilah, by the way of the desert of Gibeon. Now you have to understand the way of the warrior. They killed the brother of Joab and Abishai. Now they're going after Avner. And the sons of Benyamin gathered after Avner. Avner was from that tribe. This is the tribe of Shaul. Shaul was a Benyamin. And became one band, and they stood on top of one hill. And Avner called Joab, and he called out to Joab, will the sword forever consume? Will we have to keep killing each other? Did you not know that it would be bitter in the end? Until when will you not say to the people to return from after their brothers? In other words, when we stop playing to keep going after us? And Joab said, as God lives, for had you not spoken then from the morning. Let's see how we translate it. the people would have gone away, each one from after his brother. And Yoav blew the horn, and all the people stood still and pursued Israel no more, and they did not continue to fight. And Abner and his men went through the plain all that night, and they crossed the Jordan, and went through all the Bitron, I don't know what that is, and came to a place called Machanaim, which we've heard that before. And Yoav returned from after Abner and gathered all the people, and there were missing of David's servants 19 men and Asahel. So these, in other words, the people were killed. And David's servants had slain of Benyamin and of Abner's men, 360 men died. It's interesting, 360 is the degrees of a circle. And they carried Asahel and buried him in his father's grave, which is in Bethlehem. And they went all night, Yoav and his men, and the light broke upon them in Hebron. This is Baruch Fleischman, your very own Saba here, at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.